Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the You Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information. You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel.
Morocco to table Nigeria's necessities on environmental challenges. Vice President Osinbajo speaks and wake-up call for the nation as renewable energy takes a rise. And as the world marks tackling diabetes, the scourge at home under review. Plus, Air Force Chief takes a flight to where pilots are made. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Marrakesh, Morocco, to attend the 22nd conference of the parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, also known as COP22. President Buhari, who is being accompanied by the governors of Plateau and Jigawa states, was seen off at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by the FCT Minister Mohamed Musa Bello, Deputy Minority Whip in the Senate Philip Aduda. President Buhari will participate in the opening plenary on Tuesday, where he will deliver an address during the high-level segment. He is expected to highlight Nigeria's unwavering commitment to implementing the nationally determined contributions and policy actions aimed at tackling climate change through environmental sustainable efforts. President Buhari will also rally international support for the cleanup of Ogoni land in the Niger Delta and the resuscitation of the Lake Chad Basin. The President will attend the Africa Day commemoration at COP22 with the theme Moving from Commitments to Action with Intended Nationally Determined Contributions and African Renewable Energy Initiative. He will also attend the Summit of African Heads of State on the sidelines of the Climate Change Conference. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says there are indications that the party may soon be over in the petroleum sector with increasing developments in renewable energy. It was at the launch of 3 books on the petroleum sector written by the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachiku. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
As explained by the Vice President, the deregulation of the downstream sector and its continued challenges, vandalization of oil pipelines and export facilities, the drop in production, gas-to-power issues, and the imperative of local refining and empowering of indigenous operators are some of the critical issues the federal government has had to deal with.
As we move to diversify our economy, we are acutely aware that we need oil to get out of oil. Yet our window of opportunity to benefit maximally from the petroleum industry is narrowing.
Commenting that the author of the 3 books, Compendium of Oil Gas Cases in Nigeria, Legal Issues in the Nigerian Petroleum Industry, and the Petroleum Industry Bill, getting to the yes, Vice President Osinbajo says the Petroleum Minister has given more insight into what plays on in the sector.
Dr. Kachiku clearly took full advantage of the rare convergence of scholarship, contemporary experience, and policy wisdom to deliver what are probably today the most significant contributions to our understanding of major issues and nuances of the Nigerian petroleum industry.
Nayari of Zamfara State, Rochas Okorocha of Imo State, and Wale Tinubu presented the books to the public.
The author is a very brilliant and excellent person who is meaning the petroleum industry very, very, very well. And we as governors are going to give him every support to succeed.
We are producing a lot of students in this country who don't help our economy. So we should emphasize more on those critical areas.
We need to revamp our industry, and this book was about that.
I've recorded another milestone, towards the solution of the problems of the petroleum industry.
The inspiration is just to keep writing, and also to be able to show that, over and above whatever else we're doing today, there is life before and there's life after it, and we all have to continue to see what we leave behind. So I am sure lots of scholars will look at some of these topics and develop more books, and we need them for institutions to grow.
Guests at the presentation of the books includes state governors, legislators, members of the bar and bench, and players in the petroleum industry. From the Yaradua Conference Center in Abuja, Jide Onifate, NTA News.
Strict adherence to divine instruction has been identified as a sure way of overcoming present challenges. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo made the assertion at the 8th Annual Festival of Songs organized by the Minna Choral Society. Dauda Mohammed reports.
President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, accompanied by his wife Dolapo Osinbajo, in their first visit to Minna, the Niger State capital, were guests at the Annual Festival of Songs, an interdenominational choir of the Minna Choral Society. It was a festival of unity, peace and love, with different renditions of various songs, both indigenous and contemporary. The festival also featured an instrumental performance by saxophonist Sarotu Samande. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, while paying tribute to the organizers of the festival, described the performances as world-class.
I pray for everyone that no matter what, no matter how long it takes, you realize the love of Jesus Christ. And you realize that abundant grace that is so present and so evident all the time.
Opportunity to remind you all to take advantage of occasions such as this to reflect soberly on the need for us to imbibe the true teachings of God.
The 8th Annual Festival of Songs, with the theme More Than Conquerors, has an interdenominational choir consisting mainly of students of tertiary institutions. In Minna, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has inaugurated vocational training and empowerment programs as part of his contribution to alleviate youth unemployment. Abdul Hafiz Alaya reports that 40,000 youths from Kwara and neighboring states are to benefit from the scheme.
Inaugurating the first set of beneficiaries, Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki disclosed that the skill acquisition, training and empowerment program was aimed at driving the much desired economic prosperity in Nigeria. The program, according to the Senate President, will enable the beneficiaries to become successful entrepreneurs who will in turn create jobs and contribute to national development. Dr. Bukola Saraki, who reaffirmed the commitment of the 8th Assembly to the promotion of made in Nigeria products, urged state assemblies to do same by making laws that will make local industries and businesses thrive.
To also look at laws that we can do that will help and create opportunities for a lot of these youth who, after they get their certificate and they start to work, they must look for who is going to buy whatever they produce or they make.
The Kwara State Governor, Alhaji Abdul Fattah Ahmed, and other speakers lauded the initiative of the Senate President, saying the program will take many youth off the streets and make them self-reliant.
With the Saraki Empowerment and Employment Center, more youths will be equipped with the necessary skills to create wealth for themselves.
The program will train 40,000 youth in vocational, business, and ICT skills in the next 4 years, regardless of their tribal or political affiliations. In Ilorin, Abdulhafiz Alaya, NTA News.
Nigeria's defense attaches and advisors have been challenged to develop a new outlook as the realities of the 21st century mandates them to play a wider overt and covert role.
Prudent, transparent, performance-oriented, and truly beneficial to Nigeria. The conference is with the theme, Harnessing the Potentials of the Defense Attaché System for Improved National Security in Nigeria. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And as part of the ongoing efforts to reposition the Nigerian Air Force as a highly professionalized service that will meet global standards, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar has embarked on an operational visit to the 99 Air Combat Training Group in Kainji, Niger State. Aliu Tukur has the details.
The 99 Combat Training Group is responsible for training fighter pilots and helicopter pilots of the Nigerian Air Force. The Chief of Air Staff visits to assess personnel and equipment on ground and point out areas of challenges in order to come up with facilities and solutions that will place the Air Force above its challenges. The Chief of Air Staff inaugurated projects including block of houses, enough hospital laboratory and officers' mess.
We want to assure Nigerians that the Nigerian Air Force will continue to do everything humanly possible to ensure that our country is secured, that our people can go about their normal businesses without any fear or without any hindrance.
The Chief of Air Staff also visited the palace of the Emir of Burgu, Alhaji Muhammad Sani Halliru Dantoro, Kitoro IV, to pay homage. Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
Normalcy has been restored to Kwanar Dawaki and Tamburawa villages in Dawaki Kudu Council of Kano State after a clash between Shiite members and the police. The State Commissioner of Police, Rabiu Yusuf, briefed the media. Sani Basiru has details.
Briefing newsmen, the Commissioner of Police, Kano Command Rabiu Yusuf, explained that the clash occurred following obstruction of the road by thousands of the Shiite members along the busy Kano-Kaduna Expressway. He alleged that the Shiite members, who were armed with bow and arrows, catapult and metal bolts, cutlasses and other dangerous weapons, attacked the police team, killing one policeman and injuring 4 others. Similarly, he said an AK-47 rifle was snatched from a policeman, which they used in attacking them. Consequently, the commissioner said 8 Shiite members were mortally injured and rushed to the hospital, where they were confirmed dead by a doctor on duty, while scores of others sustained various degrees of injuries.
Of course, we used tear gas on them. In the process of using tear gas, that was how they now attacked one of our personnel who sustained fatal injury, and before he could be taken to hospital, he died. And we had no option than to use minimum force on them.
Rabi Yusuf therefore assured people of Kano that they should go about their businesses as normalcy has been restored. In Kano, Sani Basiru, NTA News.
With Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen, in the saddle, there are high expectations of his term. NTA's Good Morning Nigeria joined the public discourse as experts examine the task ahead. Omotola Omojola has details.
Guests on the program advised the new CJN to ensure the independence of the judiciary and map out strategies to ensure the quality of personalities appointed. They also suggest an overhaul of the system to rid it of corruption.
What he needs to do is to sit down and draw up a comprehensive strategic plan. A strategic plan that deals with the issue of reforms of the National Judicial Council and the State Judicial Service Commissions in terms of relevance, reforms in terms of, explaining very clearly and comprehensively to the Nigerian people the workings of the NJC, how judges are appointed, how judges are disciplined.
I think the CJN has to look into the quality of the appointment of judges and then some re-education done along these lines.
Beyond fighting corruption, the next Chief Justice, who is now the Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, has the onerous task of pressurizing the executive. Mr. President, sir, we need more justices of the Supreme Court.
The guests condemned what they termed social media trial of judges and emphasized proper remuneration for them to further curb corruption within the system.
A judge whose salary is 500,000 naira in a month, suddenly seeing 100 million be dangled before his eyes, may get may get kind of tickled and say, why don't I take this and see whether I will be lucky? In other words, we need to look at the issue of remuneration of judges. We need to look about the issue of their welfare.
Let us improve the welfare of judges, improve the chances of their living long, and also demystify election petitions, and then we will be getting our judiciary back on the top.
Issues of multiplicity of cases, time management for effective judicial process, and the complicity of the society in the corruption of the judiciary were also discussed. In Abuja, Omotola Mojola, NTA News.
The federal government is on a steady road to recovering the key sectors of the economy. This was the submission of Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, at a media briefing in Lagos on the activities that have characterized the ministry. Tekla Wilkie reports.
The minister said the media parley, which he tagged state of play, was to close ranks with the media and the general public on activities in the various ministries under his watch. He remarked that while there was a significant increment in the budget allocation for the ministry, the inactivity in the various sectors that characterized the previous administration was a major challenge. He says the ministry will give priority to bridges, highways and road networks that connect the major corridors of the 6 geopolitical zones in the country.
Those are the choices we are making. How do we evacuate our food from farm to market? Those will be the ways that we choose.
On the power sector, the minister stated that there is remarkable improvement in generation and distribution. He noted that the various challenges experienced
Constituency paid him a courtesy call in Abuja.
The Deputy Senate President attributed failure of most community projects in the country to what he called inadequate understanding of the need of the people leaders are supposed to serve. He said the most important thing in democracy is constant engagement between the electorate and their leaders.
Identify the critical areas so that we'll start working with you, the local government. Let us provide as much water as possible for the people of that area.
Earlier, leaders of the visiting community said they are calling on the Deputy Senate President to express profound appreciation for the quality representation Ike Ekweremadu is giving to Enugu West Senatorial Zone, the Southeast, and Nigeria in the past 13 years.
The Ike Foundation, which you initiated even before your election to the Senate or the Federal of Nigeria, has changed the lives of many downtrodden.
In the meantime, the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund has carried out oversight visits to establishments under its purview. Essence of the visit, which includes University of Abuja, National Mathematical Center Abuja, and the National Open University, was to focus attention on internally generated revenue, the 2016 budget, as well as the completed and uncompleted project.
The fact that we're also moving out to sit-ins for ourselves, we'll be able to compare what our experts will give us in respect to the analysis and what we're able to see on ground.
From the National Assembly, Waziri Zayan, NTA News.
The federal government has re-emphasized commitment to the growth of the Nigerian film industry for jobs creation and economic development. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed said this at the opening of the 2016 Film Festival in Lagos. Annie Daniels reports.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed disclosed that the present administration is working very hard to ensure that its dream of diversifying the economy is achieved. To this end, the creative industry is one of the ways to go. He noted that the film industry has proven itself to be not just a great employer of labor, especially to young people, but also potentially a very high foreign exchange earner because of its international appeal and demand.
And I've seen 20th Century Fox executives here today. I've seen the biggest shakers and movers of the industry here today. I think it speaks volumes. And what the need for us to do is to provide the enabling environment for them.
He noted that President Muhammadu Buhari has publicly thrown his weight behind the creative industry to enable it to transit from a creative industry to a creative economy. This, he says, has translated to the federal government having talks with state governments and investors to build high-tech studio facilities that will meet international standards.
I've watched this year alone about 4 premiums, and they're all first-class films, and many of them have been entered for competition in international festivals, and many of them got nominated. And this is why capacity building is important for them. They need to be trained, they need to be more exposed.
The Africa International Film Festival is an annual film festival organized in Nigeria. The premiere of Nate Parker's The Birth of a New Nation was the highlight of the event. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
And you can watch this broadcast live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. And still to come, details of federal empowerment scheme for women taken to Nasarawa State. We'll be back shortly.
This is a happy moment for me and for all Nigerians.
Amina Ali Nkeke, the first Chibok schoolgirl to be rescued in the renewed onslaught against the Boko Haram insurgency.
Amina's rescue gives us new hope.
Federal government has formally received the 21 abducted Chibok girls.
These dear daughters of ours have seen the worst that the world has to offer. It is now time for them to experience the best that the world can do for them. Government will sustain the effort until all the remaining girls return safely.
Cab with free Ford Protect, a 4-year 120,000-kilometer service plan, or the 2.5 petrol-based double cab with 800mm water wading capability, available in manual transmission and with free Ford Protect. So while stocks last, visit Kostaris Motors today, because, wait for it, thanks Vincent, we've got a tough Ford Ranger just for you.
For an easy way to check your bank account and make payments wherever you are in the world, use EcoBank Internet Banking or sign up online today at ecobank.com. Move on up with EcoBank.
Recognition, partnerships and awards.
We are very grateful and appreciative for your wonderful gesture you have accorded to us.
With future assured, Nigerian women and children are assured of a bright future.
Future is assured when we join hands to promote the health of our women and children. Get involved.
Get involved and support the Future Assured initiative. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes.
NTA Network News. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo had a closed-door meeting with Senate President Bukola Saraki, House Speaker Yakubu Dogara, and some state governors led by the chairman of the Governors Forum, Abdulaziz Yari. The Senate President spoke to State House correspondents at the end of the meeting.
All is good progress, all for good governance, inclusion, and great collaboration with all arms. The states are here, National Assembly, Executive. Let's come up with ideas of how to just, make things work even better. That's all.
Wounded soldiers in hospitals in Maiduguri have appealed to Nigerians for more prayers and support. It was during their engagement with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai. Ismail Musa reports.
The periodic visit is to appraise the condition of wounded soldiers receiving treatment in different health facilities in Maiduguri. Corporal Ibrahim Usman, who has been here for the past 8 months, is one among 97 soldiers who say they are responding to treatment at the 7th Division Hospital.
And I'm feeling all right. I'm coming up now. What we need for Nigeria is that we need Nigerians to take care of us.
The common cases include gunshot, fracture, and mine injuries.
Injuries to the eyes, injuries to the ears, sometimes to the neck, and maybe injury to the head.
Associations so that I don't become a drug addict.
Elsewhere, at the Government House, where the Niger State Governor, Abubakar Sani Bello,
received members of the society. The rising cases of drug abuse, especially among the youths, and the need for effective legal framework to checkmate the menace was a talking point.
This is a major source of concern. The number of boys and girls that abuse drugs in Minna and other parts of the state is amazing.
We care much about the paid and counterfeit drugs all over the nation. We are working very hard with Senate Committee on Health to see to the review of the law so that we will have stiffer penalties.
The governor made a pledge of a bus to the state chapter of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. Rabi Abdullah, NTA News.
Staying with health, today is World Diabetes Day, aimed at increasing awareness on the effects of the disease and the complications in order to scale up prevention and strengthen care. The International Diabetes Federation estimates that 415 million adults currently have diabetes, and by 2040 the figure will rise to 642 million. Here again is health correspondent Rabi Abdullah to take a look at the prevention and management of the disease.
Diabetes is a life-threatening ailment that occurs when the pancreas does not produce enough insulin or when the body cannot effectively use the insulin it produces.
When it happens that way, then blood sugar just builds up. Whatever the individual eats builds up in the blood is not getting to the cells, to get utilized for energy and nutrition. So it keeps building up. And when blood sugar remains high like that, it leads to all manner of complications. Diabetes is the leading cause of blindness, the leading cause of kidney failure, the leading cause of cardiovascular diseases like stroke, like heart attack, and, lower limb amputation.
Diabetes is not curable, but can be prevented and managed.
40 minutes, exercise every day. Walking is the best method of exercise. Cycling is good.
We got civilized and we acquired, the diseases of civilization from, the civilized diet that we consume. We left the African healthy diet or the Nigerian healthy diet, the native diet, for these civilized diets that we feel very classy about, looking at the risk factors and adjusting, their lives. For example, aging is a risk factor. So as people age, blood sugar will rise, blood pressure will rise. So what people should do is reduce the amount of sugary things you take as you age, reduce the amount of salt you take, reduce the amount of oil you take as you age.
Experts advise regular screening for prevention and early detection and the use of glucose monitor or glucometer on the part of sufferers to avoid the development of complications. In Abuja, Rabi.
The 2017 State House budget proposal has been described as modest compared to the 2016 appropriation, with a difference of over 3 billion naira in the capital projects, overhead and personnel costs. Permanent Secretary of the State House, Jalal Arabi, stated this when he received the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs on oversight visit. Aliu Kabir reports.
Rolled over from the 2016 appropriation. For emphasis, SARS, there is therefore no newly conceived projects for 2017.
The chairman of the committee and other members expressed satisfaction with the level of implementation of the budget.
We have seen a very prudent management of 2016 budget. And we are proud to say that today we really see it. Change has begun with the State House budget.
From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
The federal government has commenced sensitization and modalities for the disbursement of 1.6 billion naira micro loan to women in 8 states under the Social Intervention Program. Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Aisha Al-Hassan, who was in Lafia, Nasarawa State, says the loan is to empower Nigerian women. Joshua Ujito completes the report.
The Federal Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, JIP, and the National Women Empowerment Program, NAWEP, are 2 key social intervention schemes designed by the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to assist indigent and rural women so as to make them self-reliant. While women across the 36 states of the Federation will benefit from the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, JEEP, women from 8 states, including Nasarawa State, will also be the beneficiaries of the pilot scheme of National Women Empowerment Program, where 1.6 billion naira has already been earmarked for disbursements. Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development Aisha Jumai Al-Hassan said all women who completed their forms and submitted to the ministry will benefit from the loan, which is interest-free.
This time around, if you qualify to get the loan, it will be paid directly into your account. Therefore, all the problems we have had of failed programs before will no longer be there.
Starting from January next year, it will be in our budget to consider empowerment program for women and children.
During her audience with Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, the minister advocated the need for states to domesticate the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
And time now for more reports from our Lagos Center. Let's link up with Vera. Hello, Vera.
Thank you, Cyril. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The money laundering trial of former Aviation Minister Femi Fani-Kayode has been stalled before the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, following his remand at the Kuje prisons in Abuja. Femi Fani-Kayode, who was also former Director of Media and Publicity Campaign of former President Goodluck Jonathan, is charged alongside former Minister of Finance Nenadi Usman and Danjuma Yusuf. They are charged by the EFCC on 17-count charge, bordering on the offense. They had all pleaded not guilty to the charges. At the resumed hearing before Justice Muslim Hassan of the Federal High Court, Fani-Kayode was absent in court. His counsel, Wale Balogu, informed the court that his client had been in Kuje prisons following the inability of his family to meet up with the stringent bail conditions. In a quick reaction, counsel to EFCC Rotimi Oyedepo told the court that he is aware of the arraignment of the accused person before the Abuja division of the court, but added that it has nothing to do with the instant case. He maintained that the subsequent arrest of the accused was with a view to serving him with a charge and not to disrespect the court. Oyedepo urged the court to grant an adjournment so as to allow the accused appear before the court for trial.
We are concerned about the disrespect to the court with respect to the fact that he was arrested in the premises of the court while he's enjoying court bail. More so, on that day, we brought the attention of the court to the fact that he was going to be arrested, and the court admonished them not to do so.
The decision of the prosecution to secure his attendance in court by way of serving charges on him for the purpose of his arraignment, I do not see that as disobedient to the decision of this honorable court.
In a short ruling, Justice Muslim Hassan said he will refrain from making comment in relation to the arrest. He rather adjourned the case to 12th of December for trial. The management of the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, says efforts are on to improve infrastructure in the eastern ports to make them more commercially viable in view of the enormous potential in that part of the country. Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, says that this when she led the management team on a facility tour of Warri ports. Musa Tolet has the details.
The 12 facilities at the Warri Seaport gave an insight into the low level of commercial activities and the myriads of challenges the management of the port is grappling with. The Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, therefore met with maritime stakeholders, including concessionaires, to chart a way forward. Issues raised by the stakeholders include the need to invest in infrastructural development in order to improve efficiency, comprehensive rehabilitation of the breakwaters, dredging of Warri ports, and NPA's corporate social responsibility to the host communities.
A number of dredging companies have expressed an interest to us on the activities for dredging in that location. Procurement of tugboats, pilot cutters, and other equipment are being considered. We need to work together with the stakeholders to ensure that tariffs around the port are reduced to the minimum.
As part of efforts to address youth restiveness around the port and NPA facilities, the Managing Director and her team paid a courtesy call on the office of the Delta State Governor and the traditional ruler, the Olu of Warri.
The avenues where there have been encroachments by communities would like to seek your support and guidance as we try to reclaim some of our territories within the locality.
When our boys are getting there, they won't have time for that. I can assure you that. For the other area of support you want, I'm here for you.
The NPA boss, however, reiterated that in spite of the ongoing reforms in Nigerian Ports Authority, there are no plans to downsize the staff strength, contrary to news making the rounds in some media across the country. In Lagos, Musa Tolia, NTA News.
You're still on to NTA Network News, reaching you live from the Lagos Network Center. We take a break now to bring you some messages. The news returns in a moment with Syria in Abuja. Stay with us.
My daughter-in-law, so how are you planning for my son's birthday? No, I have to cook for her. Do you people have ogirisi there? No. It's okay. Okay, let me call you back. Mama Chiji, okay. Hi, Sobete Market. Please pack some ogirisi. I am going to visit my son. My daughter-in-law. It's arranged, but you must use original red oil to prepare the soup. What? I'll call you back. Mama Chijo, please include Isio Morocco. My daughter-in-law. Everything is now set. But don't forget that gold wristwatch I saw the last time I visited home.
Now you can talk until you tire for just 11 kobo of a second. Call all networks in Nigeria and 30 international destinations, including US, UK, China, Canada, and India for just 11 kobo per second. Dial *211# to activate.
That's it, boo-boo.
The largest data network. Glow, grandmasters of data.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Germs, oil, and dirt cause blemishes and uneven skin tone. You need Dettol Even Tone. It removes 99.9% of germs and is formulated to remove excess oil and dirt, helping to reduce blemishes.
Dettol Mom. She only trusts Dettol Antiseptic Liquid to kill 100 illness-causing germs, and it's recommended for cuts and scrapes. Worry less and love more. Don't just be any mom, be a Dettol mom. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Stay with us for generations. Thank you for 150 years of lasting memories.
Nestle, good food, good life.
La 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 la, no other.
Celebrate the uniqueness within you and win exciting prizes in the Indomie You Like No Other promo. Cut out the unique characters, collect 20 characters, submit to a redemption center to win an indomitable carton. First 500 people to collect 50 characters win 100,000 naira instantly. Gifts of over 6
interest groups to dialogue on land governance and food security to address incessant clashes between farmers and herdsmen.
So this is very important for FAO because by resolving the conflicts, we can produce more, which can ensure also food security.
Already, land reclamation has begun in the far north to curtail desert encroachment on pasture land with the planting of jatropha an economic tree.
A global plant used in controlling the environment, recovery of wasteland.
The workshop is on implementation of voluntary guidelines on responsible governance of tenure on land, fisheries and forests, VGGT, in the context of national food security and validation of studies on pastoralism in Nigeria. Next is a graphic summary of recent trading figures on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And that's it on Business News for the hour. I am Joy Uzo. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Joy. We'll take another break for more messages.
Developing irrigation agriculture for job creation and food security and overall economic growth, promising and imperative. This is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, educative, informative, and enlightening. Don't be told. Join us.
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people's camps. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
And this just in, the presidency has warned that Nigeria, currently Africa's largest producer of cereals and grains, risks famine from early next year following a huge demand in the global market that is targeting the country's surplus production. Given the grim forecast in a radio interview in Kano on Monday, spokesman for the president, Garba Shehu, told Pyramid Radio that the huge demand for Nigeria's grains in the global market is creating an excellent environment for the mindless export of the grains across borders, and unless this is curtailed, Nigerian markets will be bereft of food by January next year. The presidential spokesman said the Ministry of Agriculture has advised the President on the need to draw the attention of all Nigerians to this issue, which, if not addressed promptly, could lead to a shortage of grains in Nigeria by January. And for a bit on the foreign scene, Prime Minister, Democratic Republic of Congo resigns. This and more on Global Tidbits with Chimdema Ndubisi.
The Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo, along with all other cabinet members, have resigned. This is in line with last month's signed peace deal between the present administration and some of the opposition parties to allow for the formation of a transitional government that will be headed